Yo, what's up, guys? Quick live stream. Let's find some bets. So I'll share my screen. We have some decent starts to some of these prize picks plays I gave out. I have pretty crappy betting limits. They don't really let me bet much. But without further ado, Underdog Fantasy does have a pretty good promo. So we can take a look at that. Some decent starts on Underdog as well. But anyways, let's go here. So you can see Underdog is running a promo on Asia Wilson. They have her points line set at 21.5. So basically the way this promo works is usually Underdog Fantasy, they give you a 6x payout, but with the promo, they're giving us an 8x payout on these 3-pick entries. So pretty good promo on Underdog Fantasy, but the first thing we want to see is should we take Wilson's over or should we take her under? So obviously I follow, a very data-driven approach. The data never lies, right? So if you take a look at the Sportsbook screen, this is just one of the tools on OddsJam. You can see DraftKings has her over slightly favored. They have a little bit of juice towards the over. PrizePicks has her line higher at 22. Hot Streak has her line, juice towards the over. So again, on Underdog Fantasy, what's really unique about this platform is they give you the same payout. Regardless of if you take the over or the under, you're still going to get that 8x payout. So if Asia Wilson, if her line is higher on prize picks and the sports books have her over 21.5 points juiced, FanDuel has her over juiced. I mean, right, this is a bunch of $10 billion companies, FanDuel, DraftKings, they have really good models, really good data feeds. They all have her over favored. That's the play we want to go with. So anyways, then we can head over to the Fantasy Optimizer and just be like, okay, let's find some picks we can go with for this promo. So it actually looks like there's a lot of plays on Underdog Fantasy. So we may have to hit some plays after this first one and a lot of plays on prize picks. But anyways, let's just finish up this promo real quick. So what we can go with is we can go with Steal under 3.5. So if we take a look here, does prize picks have a lineup? Prize Picks has Steel's line at 3, right? So why is OddsJam recommending this play? It's like, okay, everything's just based in data. You have hundreds of sports books, all setting lines. If you look at NFL passing yards or receptions, I mean, right, you have hundreds of sports books setting odds. All these books are running their own models, taking bets, moving around lines based on where action's coming in. You want to be looking at all these books as a source of information. All of these books, have sophisticated models and they're a data point for you to make better bets. So anyways, what do we want to go with? Maybe we take this soccer play. I don't know what I'm saying. That's a hockey play. And maybe we take, so you can see here, Jordan Mantuk. All the sports books have him pretty heavily favored to go under. So that seems like a pretty good play we can go with. And then we could also take, man, there are a lot of plays. So I'm just kind of trying to zone in on what we want to bet here. So we have Steal, and maybe we take Elder under 4.5 hits allowed, right? So again, Underdog Fantasy strategy is, and you can see it looks like they removed the hits allowed line. So we'll have to refresh this. Nope, they put it back up. So here we have 3 good picks. This is what I'm going to lock in for the promo. And again, Underdog strategy, if you want to go ahead and lock it in, this is what I'm going to hit. But Underdog strategy is pretty simple, right? This is a platform where they give us the same payout, regardless of if we take a player to go over or under. So what you want to do is you want to compare the lines on Underdog. Underdog has Bryce Elder at 4.5 hits allowed, but all the sports books have him heavily, right? He's a huge favorite to go under 4.5 hits allowed. And again, everything is encompassed in the odds, weather, lineups. You'll see lines move as official starting lineups come out, right? Everything is baked into the market. So you'll actually see the Phillies lineup just came out. This may have caused the line movement that led to this betting opportunity on Bryce Elder. So we can actually refresh this, but you can see it right here. It's a really good play. And it looks like sports books, doesn't look like there's been a ton of line movement. But regardless, this is and you can see they locked them both. So hopefully some of you Hopefully some of you were able to get it down because I try to, give time to bet it, but that did not work. So anyways, we can check out this play next. We can look at Aria. So Aria's line 4.5 on Underdog, 5 on Prize Picks. I mean, about as clear as it gets. Like, we're finding these line discrepancies in the market. Most bets suck. We're really trying to zone in on where are those few spots where sportsbooks are, screwing up and offering plays with value. So let's go here, and then let's go to Sheo, under 5, right? So this actually works well. In esports, you want to try to pair players on opposing teams to go opposite directions. So Aria over pairs well with Sheo under. Again, Underdog is just like Prize Picks. They have fixed payouts. So what you can do is, like, for example, if we want to take Travis Kelce over in receiving yards, it probably makes sense if there's value on Mahomes to also take Mahomes to go over. That's his main receiver, right? If Mahomes goes over, Kelce's more likely to go over. And on Underdog, on Prize Picks, they have fixed payouts. So if you take Mahomes under, Kelce over, which makes no sense, you're going to get the same payout as if you take both players to go over, which obviously makes sense because it's positively correlated. So in esports, it's kind of the same. I've already hit my limit on her. Damn. So I already included her in a slip, so they're not going to let me bet this promo. But anyways, this is what I would have gone with. Super annoying. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back here and we'll just find some more plays on Underdog. It looks like there's a lot of esports value. Obviously, not the most popular sport to bet on out there. But what's nice about esports is there's just a ton of games. And that means there's a lot of surface area for the sports books to cover. I mean, Underdog has like 10,000 esports lines up. They're trying to set all these lines independently, keep everything in check with the market. And, sometimes they screw up. So, whoa. Oh, baby. So here we got to play on Fliff. So what's nice about Fliff is this sportsbook is legal, everywhere. I mean, basically everywhere. Fliff is legal in the United States. So we can go here. And again, I try to move quickly. You saw how quickly Underdog pulled some of those lines. So regardless of what you're doing, you want to try to move as fast as possible. Like, look at this. I was trying to bet the under 45 at plus 105. Boom. Already down at minus 110. Good bets, they don't last forever, right? It's like being a, day trader. The best trades aren't going to last forever. But anyways, we can get rid of DraftKings and Caesars. I try to focus on the main books, kind of, in these live streams. So on the Positive EV tool right here, you can select any sports books. I mean, there's hundreds of sports books out there. I don't know what books are legal in your state. The U.S. has super weird regulations, which is annoying, but just kind of how it is. Damn. So not a ton of bets on Fliff right now. You can see the only bet is a 0.61% profit margin one. But anyways, let's go back to this fantasy optimizer and let's try to zone in on some picks on Underdog Fantasy. So we have Aria over 4.5. Again, this play seems quite good. And the reason it seems good is, again, even if you only use Underdog Fantasy, you still want to look at other sports books as a source of information. Prize Picks is telling us, for example, let's say you want to take Aria's under. Well, you'd be crazy to bet him, her, under 4.5 because on Prize Picks, you can get under 5. So you're getting ripped off on the under, and there's some value on the over. But is there enough value to justify betting is, kind of what OddsJam shows you. So you're going to see this platform, Hot Streak, if their website loads, they have Aria's line at 5.5 with the over favored. So if you take a look here, you can see they have Aria's line at 5.5 with the over favored. My 1.57, that's like minus 180 odds. So, I mean, all data points are telling us, hey, Aria's line should be higher. And again, it's not like there's a ton of data points in esports. When you're betting on the MLB or something like that, you can see there are, dozens of sports books posting odds on all these other bets on like WinBet and stuff like that. You have all these sports books. So it's pretty clear. All these books are running their own models, setting lines independently. It's pretty clear that, for example, in Mass versus Penn State, the under should be favored. All these books have the under favored. All the books have been ripping odds towards the under. Maybe the lineup changed. Maybe the weather's going to be worse. Who knows why the market's moving? But that's what's great about markets is they encompass everything, right? If it's going to snow in a game and there's a new weather forecast and the total moves lower, that's reflected in the market. But anyways, let's lock in some bets. So we have this play on Arya. We have this play on Sheo, which pairs well, right? So I'm not going to be able to play this play on Steele. You can't pair on Underdog Fantasy players on the same team. But look at this play. Damn. So here we have Shun. Over 9.5 is what it's recommending. So let's take a look at Prize Picks. Prize Picks has the line at 11. And Hot Streak has his line at 12.5. So what you could even do is you could middle bet this, right? If you use both sports books, what you could do is you could bet the over 9.5 on Underdog, the under 12.5 on Hot Streak right here. It's kind of like buying a stock for $9.50 on E-Trade. You sell it for $12.50 on Fidelity. Oh my God. They just locked the other line, so I'm going to have to move quicker. I mean, I'm trying to give people time to tail, but holy moly, this sucks. So annoying. So we can go here. And we can go to Jose Abreu under 1.5 hits plus runs plus RBIs. So let's just lock in this because I'm a little tired of all these freaking plays getting bumped on me. So this is the play we want. And this is for the Astros Twins game. 6x payout for 3-pick entries on Underdog. Oh my gosh. I feel like they're on this live stream. It's like they are bumping all these plays as I'm trying to bet them. So they removed. So we still have the play on Arya. They removed the play on Shun. Super crazy. Anyways, it kind of goes to show you how quickly some of these dang lines can move. Damn. So Nathan McKinnon, no goal. So this play seems solid. Oh my gosh. Man, this is crazy. They're bumping all these esports lines as we are trying to bet them on this live stream. So we have Sheo under 5. We have Steele under 3.5. Hot Streak has the line at 2.5. Where does I'm going to have to move quicker. They have the line at 3. Underdog Fantasy, we have the line at 3.5. So really the hard part here isn't, finding good bets. It's just getting them down quickly enough. So you can see we got this play down. And if we look at hockey, if we go to like the Avs game, we can take a look here at player props and we can look at Nathan McKinnon. So you can see he's favored to not score a goal, right? He's a pretty big favorite to not score a goal. So that seems like a great play to go with. And then, anyways, let's let things kind of settle in. For this play on Jose Abreu, you can see all the sports books have him heavily favored to go under 1.5 hits plus runs plus RBIs. So if you go here to the MLB, I just kind of like to show the data. OddsJam is just reading in the sportsbook odds and just telling you, hey, maybe you want to go with this play on Underdog Fantasy because all of the bookmakers, have Jose Abreu heavily favored to go under 1.5 hits plus runs plus RBIs. Again, on Underdog Fantasy, they give us the same payout. If we take a player to go over or under, we're always getting the same payout. For these 3-pick entries, we're always going to be getting a 6x payout, right? So if his under is heavily favored, then we want to take the under. That's the sharp pick that we want to go with. And then we have Corbin Carroll to bang us out today. This play was from the live stream. This play was from the live stream as well. But anyways, I've gone through the math behind Underdog. And again, on Prize Picks, they give you a crappy payout. For these 3-pick entries, they only give you a 5x payout. So you'll never see me. I mean, we've been giving out some plays on Prize Picks, all these different platforms. You'll never see me play a 3-pick entry on Prize Picks because they have crappy payouts, right? They're only paying you out 5x for these 3-pick entries. So you're getting ripped off when Underdog Fantasy, a platform that works in exactly the same way, is giving you 6x. But anyways, why don't we go over to Prize Picks briefly? And you can see it's recommending some of these same plays. So let's just go here. We're going to have a lot of bets by the end of this live stream, I feel like. But anyways. So you can see there's some plays on Jock Market as well. This is another platform. Again, like another benefit of having a bunch of these platforms is they all have different lines from one another. So like WinBet is a sports book I've been absolutely destroying bets on recently. And it's not the most popular platform in the world, but they have a lot of good lines and they have pretty high betting limits. So I was able to hit this for 1.1K. And again, like when you're betting at minus 110 odds, so you can see lines are ripping lower in this game. But again, every sports book sets lines independently. So you can see all these books are moving odds towards the under. The weather is supposed to be horrendous, which is probably why the total is dropping on these sports books. Or maybe lineups change, right? If the quarterback is questionable, that can cause the total to move. Like there's tons of reasons that lines can move, but it's all reflected in the odds on sports books, but they all set lines independently. So they all have to update odds independently. And you can see WinBet is a lot of times just like asleep at the wheel. Pinnacle is a really sharp sports book. I don't use Pinnacle. It's not available in the US, so you can't bet on it here. But you still want to look at their odds as a source of information. Penny and Pinnacle, same thing, right? This is the sharpest sports book, and they're pricing this under at minus 132 and ripping it lower. We're getting minus 110. Again, when you're betting at minus 110, all it means is you have to win 52.4% of your plays to be profitable. In finding these, spots of value where sportsbooks have an under super heavily favored, that's how you win your point spread bets over 52.4% of the time, right? Like professional sports bettors, all they're trying to do is win on spreads and totals above 52% of the time, right? So we can go back here. There's also some good TD lines in general, but if we take a look at like the NFL, right? All you're trying to do, all these plays, if you can just win any of these totals, spreads at minus 110, 52.4% of the time, you're going to be profitable betting on sports. It's not that complicated. But anyways, let's go back here. And let's take a look at, kind of what's out there. So let's go over to Prize Picks. And let's just refresh this and let's kind of take a look at Prize Picks. Underdog Fantasy ParlayPlay. You can see there's some good plays on ParlayPlay. They reduced their payouts recently, which kind of sucks, but just kind of how it is. So we can take a look here. Do they have TD lines up? You'll sometimes notice there's pretty good TD lines on some of these platforms. So I'll actually show you an example. I mean, this play we already went with, but you can see I'm on Walker and Derrick Henry to not score a touchdown. Those are both pretty good plays. And if we take a look here, you can see they're adding more lines as we talk about this. They removed Henry. So you can see they removed them, right? Too smart. So Kenneth Walker, his under was heavily favored on all the sports books. Again, Prize Picks, you take the overs, you take the unders, overs, unders, doesn't matter. You're always getting the same payout. So what you want to do is compare lines on Prize Picks to those on the sports books, find spots where sports books have an under, really heavily favored. And for Kenneth Walker, you can see he's a super big favorite to not score a touchdown, minus 175, minus 180 on Fliff. So that's a great play to go with on Prize Picks. But anyways, we can go back here and we can kind of refresh this. Under 5.5 in the Bruins game. So there are some bets on Fliff. I mean, nothing crazy high profit margin. But again, what's amazing about sports betting is your ROI is daily, right? Like if you can have a 1% ROI on your NHL bets, let's just say you have a 1% ROI in your NHL bets, there's 82 games in the season. So even with just a 1% ROI, you'll have an 82% ROI, return on capital, over the course of the season, which is really good, obviously. sounds pretty good, at least 82%, when you just have a 1% ROI. Like people always talk about, oh, the sports betting, stock market, goes up 8% a year. It's like, that's great and all, but if you can earn even just 2% on your bets, in the MLB, there's 162 games in the regular season. That's a 324% ROI. Anyways. So these assholes are starting to put some of these lines back up on Underdog. So we can take a look here. So like this player, Aria, what did we want to do? Well, actually, I think they bumped him up. I think we were trying to bet him over 4.5. Now they bumped him up to 5 to be in line with Prize Picks. So a lot of the value goes away, which is super annoying. So this play is just crazy. So take a look at this. We have our boy Donk under 26, right? So if you take a look here at CSGO lines, again, there can be value in any sport. Donk's line is 22. That's crazy. So what you could do is you could middle bet this. We could hit the over 22 and then the under 26. It's kind of like buying a stock at 22 bucks and then you sell your stock at 26 bucks. Again, it's crazy how inefficient the sports betting market is. Like, this is what you want to see. So many people are like, oh, I'm just going to watch highlights. It's like everyone who bets on sports watches sports. Watching sports has no relationship to sports betting. And it always hurts people's feelings, but it's true. Anyways. What we do want to do is we can look at some of these player touchdown lines in college football as well. But I have really crappy betting limits on Prize Picks. You could include in a slip Donk over 22, also hit him under 26. But what I prefer to do is I'm just going to take the side on Underdog Fantasy because Prize Picks have super, super crappy betting limits. But anyways, so what we can do as well is let's look at our boy Garrett Green. Oh, shoot. Oh my gosh, we found a killer play. This play is awesome. Damn. Oh my gosh. So Garrett Green, he is a minus 210 favorite on Barstool in the score to not score a touchdown. So you really want to focus on these two-way markets. DraftKings has this guy plus 190 to score. So he's a huge underdog to score a touchdown. So this play is incredible. Think about it this way. If you want to bet on Garrett Green to score a touchdown, on Underdog Fantasy, you would have to include 2 picks to get plus 200 odds, right? Underdog Fantasy is plus 200 odds. You're betting 100 to win 300 total, 200 in profit. You're betting 100 to win 200 in profit, plus 200 odds, but you have to win 2 picks. On DraftKings, you're getting plus 190 for just 1 pick. So Underdog Fantasy is ripping you off if you take this guy's over. So the over is a horrible play, and the under is an incredible play. So you can see here, all these chili pepper ones in general suck. I've taken a look at a lot of them, which is no fun. So we don't want to play these chili pepper ones, but this play on Garrett Green is incredible. So if you can play college football, make sure you're on that. We can see if they're sleeping on any touchdown lines. So they have Kyron Williams up, so we could take a look at Williams. But again, he's minus 210 to not score a touchdown. Underdog will give me the same payout if we take him to go over or under. We know on Underdog Fantasy, we have to win 55% of our picks to be profitable. And this guy is a huge favorite to not score a touchdown. Huge favorite to not score a touchdown. Minus 210. And you got to remember, what does minus 210 mean? What does minus 200 mean? If a team is minus 200, they're a 2-to-1 favorite. 2-to-1 favorite means 2/3 to win, 66.67% to win. But anyways, that's crazy. So let's go back here. And we have our boy Donk. And what else did I want to go with? So we already locked in Steele. Fuck. So they locked the play on Donk, but thankfully. So you really have to move quick. I mean, you can see Prize Picks is moving the line too. Maybe some of you are middle betting it who are watching, but I mean, this is crazy. Sheo, 4.5. Where does Underdog have his line? They have his line at 4.5 as well. Nathan McKinnon to not score a goal, we already went with. Let's check out this player, Adam. Prize Picks Underdog have his line at 8. So again, with esports, what kind of is hard, though, is you don't have as many data points, right? When you're betting on the NFL, again, the MLB, college football, I mean, there are so many sportsbooks posting lines. So you have tons of points of comparison, whereas in esports, you just don't. So they got rid of the play on Donk, unfortunately, which sucks. We can try refreshing. I mean, sometimes they'll put things back. So you can see they bumped him down to 25. We were trying to get him under 26. So some of the value is going away. And right, that affects our profit margin long term. Prize Pick still has his line lower at 23. So we could still bet it. It just kind of feels bad to place a bet, you know, after the line's been moving on you. So what I'd prefer to place is this Chopper guy. Prize Picks has his line at 16. I can only do one pick from the game anyways. Man, there are these, like, whoever thought player headshots would be one of the most profitable things you can bet in esports? I mean, it's crazy. And then we want Shun over 10. I'm pretty sure they were 9.5, but they bumped him higher. But you can see, if we take a look at Prize Picks, again, this fantasy optimizer is just reading in all the data, pointing out value. I mean, there's still pretty good value on this play. So here we have a nice little 3-pick entry. And this play on Garrett Green is incredible. I mean, again, like on Underdog Fantasy, right? So here's the second Underdog play we lock in. On Underdog Fantasy, it doesn't matter what picks you select, right? You're always getting a 3x payout. Ooh, this guy has the same last name as me. He's probably real good at sports. But on Underdog, it doesn't matter what picks you select. You're always getting a 6x payout. So it all just boils down to, can you win? What percentage of your picks can you win, right? And again, for Garrett Green, so if we go to, you know, player touchdowns on, you know, kind of the sportsbook screen, are there any arbitrage plays? So if we go here to the sportsbook screen, it's like, okay, we want to look at player touchdowns. And then we want to look at Garrett Green. Like, if this guy is minus 200 to not score a touchdown, right? Minus 200-ish. Minus 200 means a 2-to-1 betting favorite, means 66% to win. If you can win your over-unders on Underdog Fantasy just like this, if you can win these 2/3 of the time, 66.67% of the time, your ROI is going to be 78%, which is crazy good, right? That's crazy good. So anyways, we can refresh this. Some of these plays we've already locked in, right? So we're not going to be able to play them again. We just hit that play on Chopper. So as the profit margin goes down, obviously, like, it gets less attractive to bet this crap. But we can take a look at Crowney and some of these final plays. So this play looks real good. Underdog has his line at 10. Prize Picks has him at 11.5. Hot Streak has him at 10.5 with the over heavily favored. That's crazy, right? I mean, it is insane if you think about it. It's literally like going to Fidelity and seeing a stock at 11.50. E-Trade, the stock is at 10. Imagine how easy it would be to be a day trader. It would be incredible. So here's another headshot line discrepancy. I mean, there's just a lot of value in esports because there's a lot of games. 9.5, 11.5. In general, Prize Picks is sharper. I mean, these are huge differences. 9.5 versus 11.5 is, you know, it's not marginal. So anyways, we can go to him over 2.5 shots on goal. So this looks like a nice little 3-pick entry. So again, the hard part is getting down volume. You can see in this bottom right corner, Underdog only gives me a max bet size of $100. So we locked in this play, we locked in this play, we locked in this play. The strategy never changes, right? On Underdog, it's very simple. if you win your player props, literally just going through the math, I've gone through the math behind every type of slip they have, 2-pick, 3-pick, no insurance, everything, is if you can win your over-unders just like this, right? If you can win these picks above 55% of the time, you'll be profitable. That's not like easy. You got to win 57, only lose 43% of your over-unders to be profitable, which again, like you can do it. It's not super easy though. But anyways, we can check out, FanDuel, any bets, whatever. So lines have been absolutely ripping towards Oklahoma State. I mean, you can see it's just been a straight line down. All the early action coming in on OK State, or maybe Kansas has a good player out. Who really knows? You can see I'm already on them at way better odds. Again, it's all about finding value and placing bets when you can. I have them for $3,000 at plus 150 odds. $3,000 at plus 150. Now they're, a good bet at plus 138. So lines have absolutely ripped towards them at plus one, you can see here just every sports book. And who knows, maybe it's sharp action. All the smart people were like, no. Again, markets move. These books move lines. Maybe all the sharp bettors saw Oklahoma State as a really heavy underdog and were like, no, underdog, or they shouldn't be that big of an underdog. They should only be a plus 120 underdog. So they bet them down from plus 150 to plus 125. The sports books were like, damn, all our smart money, all our smart customers, all the action is coming in on OK State. We should move lines towards OK State, right? Books move lines based on where action's coming in. They know which customers are more profitable. They know everything like that. So they'll move lines based on all the bets coming in. Or maybe a Kansas player got injured. Maybe an Oklahoma State player who was questionable is now not questionable and he's really good. I mean, who knows, right? That's kind of the point. So anyways, we got some good plays on Underdog. We got some real good plays on Underdog. So what we can do is go to Prize Picks, because why not? You can also go to ParlayPlay. Not much out there. They changed their payouts recently, so it's just a little harder to find value. Oh, man. Oh, damn. Damn. There's a lot of plays on Prize Picks. Wow. Where should we start? Anyways. Maybe we'll call it a day for now. I'll drop a slip on Twitter or something like that. Live stream's been kind of long, but hopefully this was helpful, and thanks so much.